Now, I saw your comment. You said you don't have to parry your post because it's 48 pounds. Parry and posts aren't static blocks normally. For example, I can do a parry, but called a deflectional parry, where I deflection it and cut down onto you. Now, because your sword's so heavy, it will, instead of you being able to move or get out of that and then attack me again, which is a riposte, your sword will glide down away from me, leaving you like this. You can, with some swords, come back up, but you can't do that with a 48-pound sword. That's way too momentum, too much weight to move quickly enough. Can't build up enough momentum. Now, because you're wide open, I can then attack your head, or I can even stab, do something like that. It doesn't have to be your head, it can be your torso, your shoulder. Other things I can do. You hold your swords and you come down hands first. You don't want to do that. You want to, as quickly as possible, make your blade come down first. Leaves your hands wide open. I don't even have to attack you and kill you. I just have to attack your hands, making you drop your sword or your arms. You don't have to kill someone to end a fight. I don't know if you ever knew this, because you, in all your comments, you make it sound like with this sword, you just have to kill him and it's over. I don't have to kill you to make it over. I can just make you unable to fight anymore. Now, there are swings you can probably do sideways. I'm not going to deflect, parry, or post those at all. Or even when they're coming down, all I have to do is step back, let it move away from me, then thrust forward. I also saw the video, which is what made me comment. Your sword, your argument was saying that people were saying that because your sword's so heavy and slow, they can come in, slash you, and stab you whole 9 yards. I agree, you can't do that. I can get one good slasher stab in after I move out of the way or deflectional parry your blade. There's no way I'm going to static block 48 pounds with my arms and blade. There's no way. I can't do that. That's too much weight going down on me, too much momentum. See, regular swords, if this was an army sword and someone had a long sword, I wouldn't be static blocking at all. I would be doing deflectional parries, stuff like that. What you also could do, another one I've learned recently, is you slap the blade out of the way. You just have to slap it. I don't think that would be useful on a 48-pound blade. That's way too much weight compared to any sword that you normally would use. Even great swords, which are 6 feet long and maybe weigh at most 4 pounds. Practically, they don't get higher than that. Most swords, even long swords, only weigh around 2.5 pounds. And one-handed swords that are 2 pounds are on average. Long swords don't weigh much more than that. I like the idea of a giant sword. Shadowversity is doing one, and they're making it practical by using carbon fiber. You look like you made yours out of complete steel. One giant complete steel blade. That's too heavy. Even at the length that you made it, it doesn't look very long. And you then don't have reach. Yeah, you have a lot of momentum working, but if someone is out of your reach, has a great sword, which are 6 feet on average, they don't even have to get out of the way. Because they have so much reach on you, they can just stab you right then and there. And you can probably hit it or block it out of the way, but as soon as you make a move, because there's so much momentum and weight in that blade, you have to go with it. You can't stop it mid-swing or anything like that. You have to follow through. Even that, following through is way slower than following through with a warhammer or a crow's beak or even a poleaxe, which are on average a lot not much heavier than a great sword or something, but they have the weight on another end. Their weight, instead of being down like this where the sword is mostly the weight's down here, it's opposite. The weight's all up here. Don't weigh much more, but you have to follow through with them because they have so much weight. Now, that's slower depending on how heavy the blade is or the weapon. Yours is 48 pounds. That is too much weight. That is as much as a young child. You're basically wielding a young child. I don't know about you, but I don't think wielding a young child is very practical. Yeah, it has a blade and edge and it's very heavy, and it will kill me no matter what if it hits me. But there are moves in basically every martial art where you don't static block. You don't have to static block to block something. I just have to slap it out of the way, deflectional parry, or just move out of the way. And because it's so heavy, no matter what you do, you can't stop me from doing my riposte, my counterattack. Parries are not always deflectional, like just static blocks. You don't static block something that weighs a lot more than yours, because it's just going to blow through. That's why deflectional parries are made and slapping the weapon out of your way. Now, other things you can do, it's just move it, there's not other things you can do, but you can move out of the way. There's 3 things you can do, and no matter those 3 things, if I do them, you can't do anything about it. Now, if you were to get, like I said, a historical martial arts person, like someone who practices historical European martial arts, HEMA, or Kendo, or something like that, where you spar a lot, there's a lot of sparring. It has to be a lot of sparring in this martial art, or I don't consider them practical if you don't spar with a lot of people, because you're just doing moves, and that's not good if you don't fight with people. Or spar, not fight, but spar. Or I don't really care if you get someone from some Chinese martial art. I think some of those are practical, or anywhere. But if someone who actually practices weapon-based martial arts, and you try to fight them, I bet you would lose most of the time. But if they were to static block that, I have no doubt you'll blow through. You probably kill them. But I am trying to prove my point. You are just saying, well, you can just blow through my attacks. I said parry or post, yes. There are other comments that said where you do flexional parries or step out of the way. I don't think you answered to those. Now, if you want me to be proven wrong, and I want to be proven wrong, because I think it'd be cool if someone could actually wield these properly. Forget someone who actually practices martial arts. And I mean weapon-based, not hand-to-hand, nothing like that. And I would watch it 100%. I am not a good video maker, nothing like that. I'm not even a good martial artist. I am a noob in HEMA as low as I can be in HEMA. I have no place to practice. I have no one to practice with. I've been trying to find a gym, a place to practice and learn, but there's none around me. I'm living in the countryside in Illinois right now. But I can learn as much as I do through watching, learning educational videos and stuff like that. I know the basics, and that's what's important. You need to know the basics. Even though I only know the basics, and I've watched plenty of videos, there's plenty of videos proving your argument wrong. Saying you can just blow through attacks. Yes, you can blow through attacks. But can you respond in time when someone does a deflectional parry and moves out of the way? That is where your trouble is. It's not that your swing is powerful enough to cut someone in half or anything like that, or kill them in one swing. Is it light enough to respond? Because no matter what, someone's going to try to move out of the way. They're not just going to static block it, because it's too heavy to do that. It's impossible. I wouldn't do it. I don't even think a master of any martial art would try to block that head on. So if you do something that proves me wrong, I will admit it. I will make a video saying I was wrong. I have a YouTube channel. I don't do many martial art things on there anymore because I haven't learned much from when I started. But I will make a video on my YouTube channel saying I was wrong. And I'll even link to that video proving that I was wrong. But you can't just argue that it will go through a block, because that's not all the kinds of blocks that exist. Thank you.